Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I hope this message finds you happy, thriving, and well. Thank you for your time and thank you for your energy. And this morning, this message is a hard one for me because it's actually deeply personal. It's connected to a study that I recently pored over and found it very, very provocative. I found it inspiring. I found it healing just reading it because it connects to a part of me that's very, it's still very raw. You know, it's interesting, right? This is like 50 years old, 45, 50 years old. But it's still raw. It's an area of my life that I still work on healing. It's it's kind of a PTSD experience for me, and I don't mean to minimize people who've had different types of PTSD and deep, deep traumas around things like war and deep violence and deep abuse. But this is more of a subtle kind of PTSD that I grew up with, and I know I still wrestle with it because it's one of my greatest challenges. It's bedtime, it's the middle of the night, and it's early morning. Those are my prime areas for anxiety. That's when I primarily feel stress. Very interesting. And as I've kind of just done some of the work and dug in and looked at it, it's deeply connected to just how a lot of my childhood had some... what can I say? Just this unpredictability around my dad, who I love. My dad was an amazing human being, but my dad struggled deeply with booze, with faithfulness, fidelity, just with stuff. Bless his heart. He's been gone now for close to 15 years, and I miss him tremendously because I feel like he was just starting to find a better way. And he just loved my kids. He was an amazing grandfather. So I think he worked through some stuff. But you know what's interesting? As you kind of look at the imprinting that happens as kids, I used to stay up late at night waiting for my dad to come home, praying he would come home. And sometimes when he came home, it was absolute chaos. Yelling, screaming, hitting, stuff. And I realize as I've become more of an expert, isn't it interesting? We become experts in areas that we need to heal. Specifically me with medicine. I've just fallen in love with the field of epigenetics, and I realize the reason why I'm so dedicated to learning about it, because it's so much a big part of my life and a big part of my work and my healing and my struggle and my love of myself, my compassion towards myself in those tender areas that still 50 years later need love and compassion and tenderness. So I have to work on this. And I'm a big fan of meditation, as you know. But if sometimes I wake up in the morning, I don't have time necessarily right in bed. I like to meditate after I get out of bed, after I exercise, and it's a great time for me to meditate. But what I'm learning is that early in the morning for me, that 3, 4 a.m. time is when there's a lot of PTSD coming up for me. It wakes me up literally. It literally wakes me up out of sleep. And I can't fall back a lot because there's just cortisol raging and stress hormones raging and just those old memories coming up for me at a deep cellular level. So what I've learned is that Yale did this functional MRI study where they're looking at how different things can help with PTSD and deep stress and trauma and how it affects us, whether it's daytime, nighttime, anytime, and how meditation is super, super helpful for that. But they also found out that visualization affects the same area of the brain that benefits from meditation in relationship to helping to heal and support issues around PTSD. So if you have any post-traumatic stress disorder, if you wake up under the influence of worry and you have your guard up and you're anxious and you're afraid, one of the coolest things you can do is literally take 2 minutes and visualize peace. Visualize the life that you would love to have. Visualize looking forward in the day that you'd love to have and how you will navigate, how you will be surrounded by love and there are different people who love you and who you love. And really get clear with your visualizations because it'll go to the part of the brain that is just like you meditated for 30 minutes. Just visualizing yourself in a space of grace and love and light and acceptance and safety will help to heal. Help to kind of take the claws out of the history and bring in wholeness and light and love and compassion and softness. So there you go. Visualization, visualizing the life that you may not have had, that you had hoped for, and still potentially can have. So we're together in this, aren't we? Thanks for listening. I love you. Much love and every blessing. Bye for now.